I finally got Exo Manowar Unconquered. Now, Exo Manowar is my favorite character out of Valiant. I have been following it since the 90s, and really loved Robert Venditti's rendition of it. I liked what Matt Kint did to an extent, but I feel like it kind of went off the rails there when D&G bought the company of Valiant. They brought in some people who just really didn't take care of the character for a bit. And it was a train wreck. Now, because of that, I didn't pick this up in single issue like I had been doing before, but I waited for this hardcover. Alien Books took this back over, and while this was in production prior to them taking over, and it was finished being published by them, and you could see that it's a beautiful hardcover. It's got some great foil lettering up top, which I really love. I love these hardcovers, and I hope they keep producing these for the series because they're pretty nice. And so this one starts off with Eric of Dacia, he's a Visigoth who has like space Iron Man armor, basically. And he's out in space, and you can see Liam Sharp does all the art here. And Liam Sharp draws really weird, creepy art that's very different from the normal comic fare. And the creativity is off the charts on this. I got to say, like on the art level, I really love these designs. It reminds me a lot of like what I see in like Jodorowsky's like Meta Barons and things like that, which is good science fiction art. Now, at the same time, some of the art gets like a little tough to follow what's going on at points because it's so impressionistic. And so Eric's like struggling with the armor, trying to get off this planet. There's these people trying to hunt him down from an empire who's like, they call themselves like a new Rome, basically, in space. And they've got this like dreadnought ship up there that they're trying to hunt him down to steal the armor, basically. And they've got the whole Roman mythology going on. Becky Cloonan wrote this, and she said at the back of this book that she really spent a lot of time researching like Roman history and things like that to tie things in. And so they have an oracle who like divines the future. They have their centurions and the like, and they are trying to bring in Eric through this graphic novel. Now, eventually they capture him. And they treat him like he's a guest at first, but he kind of knows not to trust them. And there's a big Roman emperor who's doing these things, and they've been trying to create their own armor at the same time here, and it's all corrupted because they just can't do things quite right. And it actually ties into Robert Venditti's run, which I really like about this. Now, the Robert Venditti run had a alien group called the Vine, and they're the ones who extracted Eric to their alien homeworld. That's where he then escaped and got the armor and then became Exo Manowar. So this is a Roman group since the Visigoths were taken, as slaves. Obviously, maybe they took some Romans too, and the Romans escaped separately and then kind of formed their own space empire as kind of a contrast here. Now, Eric gets kind of close with one of the ladies over this, and then there's some betrayal. There's some big action towards the end, and eventually he escapes. And you learn that the Oracle is like really a geomancer, which ties it kind of further into the Valiant universe. So pretty good job on that. Like I like the tie-in with the Vine. I like the Roman theme because like it kind of gives me that Britannia vibe, which also ties in with the Valiant universe. And I also like the fact that the geomancer's kind of tied in also. And so he ends up, of course, blowing up the ship and killing the bad guys. And we learn that there's a much bigger evil like empire. It's not just that ship. They've got a whole fleet. They'll eventually come for him. And then he kind of like lands on a planet to set up the future series. So enjoyable as a whole. I think the plotline was pretty good and did pretty good honor towards the character. And actually like tied things into the Valiant universe pretty well. I think Becky Cloonan actually did her homework, and I like that. I like the Liam Sharp art, like I said, and I could see where this like would be divisive on some levels because it's very not standard comics. It's very different. And like I said, there's points where it's a little muddy because of the impressionism, but honestly, for me, like I enjoy looking at cool, unique art, and this definitely hits on that level too. Now, where this falls down a little bit, this is a 6-issue series. The pacing is really pretty slow. And because it's pretty slow, like I feel like this is like one of those things that if this was a 90s comic book, this would have been done in one issue. and it was definitely decompressed and stretched out. And that's my main issue with Unconquered here. But it's a much better restart for Exo Manowar than the last iteration was. It feels a lot more in touch with Robert Venditti's line than Matt Kint's run did, for instance. And I look forward to seeing where the next version goes. I know a new sequel's come out to this, where he's on the planet and kind of building up maybe an army or whatnot. Not sure where it goes. I haven't read it yet. But it's a good starting point. And so if you want to read the Robert Venditti run and then read this and skip the rest, I think you can totally do that and do well. Matt Kint's run has its good points, but I definitely don't recommend the stuff from a couple years back. And that is where we're at here. So I'll call this overall, with its pacing problems and some of the art issues at points, I'll call this like an 8 out of 10, and pretty good and enjoyable stuff. And we'll see where this goes. All right, leave a comment down below with what you think about this. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.